All right, hey everybody. So what I'm going to talk about today is this is my finesse trade. So I'm looking at these lines. I got my white line, my gold, and my brown, and when and where they cross. And I'll go through some of my thought process. Sorry for the Mickey Mouse uh, recording, but that's what we got to deal with today. So I'm going to go ahead and push forward on this one, go through this. I'm anticipating a sell right here because, again, the market had moved up to this point and went back down, went back up, so created a new high. So I'm okay with taking a sell in this. And so I'm anticipating a sell, especially because if you look at this really closely, the white line is definitely crossed the gold and just touching the brown. So I'd be thinking sell all day long. So let's see if this could work. It does have the momentum going up, but it's not, there's a high, sorry, kind of, you can't see where my arrows just went to, my cursor. But there is, on the left-hand side, there's definitely a resistance line that's saying, hey, this is probably the top of this next little stretch is gonna go. So let's just fast forward a little bit. And I'm thinking sell all day long. So if that ends up being a sell, this current little candle right here, and they're all 15-second candles, then yeah, I would take this. I'd be on my sell button. And so let's just see. Okay, so knowing myself, I probably would have hit sell right there. So it's sell at 72. And let's just see what it has to go to. So in order for me to get out, it needs to be about 68. Oh, that's a big drop. Okay, well, I definitely would have made a ton of money right there. Every once in a while you catch those. It's like catching like a big fish. Like you anticipate like a 1 pound, 1.5 pound, and all of a sudden you pull up a 6-pounder. So that's what this guy was right here. Actually bigger than that because it went from 72 down to 52. So drop $20 was 80 ticks. And so as fast as it dropped, I would have probably gotten about 50, 60 ticks easy out of that one before it bounced back up. Well, that would have been fun. But I wasn't trading this time. I just recorded it. And so I'm going to fast forward a little bit more for us until the next movement. And then, with this big a movement down, I don't want to take buys. I want to take the sells side only, most likely, if that makes sense. And so, because you don't want to go against the momentum. So right here, we got a little bit of a push back up. But again, there's kind of a ceiling right here, the resistance line. We do have some support lines. So if the market doesn't go too far back down on this, I'd be thinking sell. Even if I got the crossing, I just don't want to grab that one. And so I'm going to, again, let's fast forward through this and see what comes about. So right there, the white line and brown, it's all crossing all three. And if you had got that candle, that'd be great. But it's usually the second candle that you get into. And at this big of a spike, okay, now look, definitely not playing this one because you see how big this candle wick is? This candle wick starts at 55 and goes all the way up almost $10 and then back down. That's telling me it's a huge retraction, which kind of correlates the top of this candle with, again, you can't see the rest of the mouse, but correlates the top of the resistance line that's there as well. So I'm not taking buys. I'm looking for sells on this one. And if I'm wrong, it's okay. There's always another sell opportunity going to happen. So let's just see. Okay, so it's looking like it's setting up for another sell. Yeah, okay, good. See, that's why I want to take that one. And it's just indicative of this massive candle wick that's right there. So I'm going to fast forward a smidge. Okay. So looking at this guy, this candle right here is at the base of the ones next to it. So there's a support line right here. But again, the white line hasn't crossed. It's crossed the brown, which is fine. And then, the brown line, if you guys get super aggressive, you could trade just the white and brown line. But for right now, let's just trade all three of these. And so it's definitely this candle wick. So I'm watching it. So if it has the candle's still pushing down. If it has a big candle wick like this one here or this green one prior, then, I'm not going to take this trade either. But if it stays pretty solid, then I'm going to hit the sell button because I'm anticipate the price to drop even more. Okay, so it had a mild one. So if I had got in at 38, say 38.25, a little late, then let's just see what's going to happen. I'm sweating it right now. I'm sweating a lot right now. I'd still be in this trade. Okay. And, okay, I saw it drop enough. Okay, boom, I'd be out. Okay. So I would have been sweating there for a little bit, but I do have a lot of room in my ATM settings that I would have been just fine because I'm like, hey, the momentum's still pushing this thing down. I know I had some pushback with this resistance line right here, and that's where this green candle popped in at. And if you see kind of the resistance lines and green candle pop in, another good spot is this next candle. Like, hey, take this down because if this stays red, it's going to keep dropping down. So I would have made a good money on this trade right here. All right, let's see what happens with the next crossing. Oh, okay. Oh, this one's interesting. So this next crossing right here, and then let me fast forward, is going to be a buy. Now, this white, so the brown line just crossed the gold, and then the white one's about to cross probably at the end of this candle, which it just did right there. So I'm looking at this thinking, okay, this had a decent candle wick up, but this candle was pretty solid. So this may be safe buy to take, especially because the resistance line is clear up here. There is a little line that's right about 20,340, but I'd be okay to take this trade. But my finger would be on the exit just for a quick exit in case I needed to. Okay, a little worried. And okay, definitely out right about there. Just in how it bounced, my ATM settings would have got me out. So I probably would have made 15 to 17 ticks during all this process. So let's fast forward and see what happens. Okay, so yeah, this trade definitely would have worked for me. My ATM settings would have got me out earlier, but can you see this? My thought differences between this candle back here and the massive candle wick, and then how this candle had just a little tiny candle wick, but so I'm indicated like, hey, there's still room to grow. Okay, let me fast forward to the charts a little bit and see what we get. Again, slightly more aggressive, you just trade the brown when the white's trading the brown. And so that's another aggressive side, but I'm not gonna talk about that. I'm looking just for the crossings of the white line with the brown and gold. All right, going through some chop, a little movement up now. So this must have been the bottom of the recent movement. Again, I'm looking at the top of this is just about where the resistance line is. And so let's fast forward. Yeah, that's very cool. And so based on the top of these little candles, yeah, it could drop. And it could drop pretty significantly right here. So let's just see where this one goes. I fast forward too fast and I did see it drop. But again, I'm thinking, okay, white line, crossing brown and gold. So yeah, let's get in here and do this. And even with a little white up movement, my finger still be on the trigger thinking we got room. Everything's crossed. You got the white line crossing, the brown and the gold. So if I had got in at 20,348, let's say 48, that's fine. Or even 49. And then I just kind of sit there and wait. There's 46, 45. I probably, so see, I saw that bounce. And so the bounce, my ATM settings would have got me out. I would have probably already been out 15 to 17 ticks on this one, and then it dropped even more in case I hadn't. And then the bounce back. So yeah, my ATM settings would have got me out here, but that's another 220, 300 bucks right there. So very cool. All right, keep on moving on down the road. Okay, so it's kind of starting to roll a little bit. So these candles stopped not quite on the bottom of this resistance, more on the top of it. So there's still maybe some room to go down. I don't know how much more room to go up, but let's just kind of watch this. Okay, so see how it dropped back through? So that's good. So this dropped through the little resistance that was back here. Again, watching my cursor. And then we got this one right here. So, okay, so that's good. So now it's definitely broken through the low. Actually, it's almost right about it. So I'm thinking, okay, this is starting to set up like it wants to because we got some candles that are going pretty much straight across. It wants to take a little buy movement, and so let's just kind of watch to see what plays out with this one. I'm going to fast forward. And then the brown lines cross the gold already. The white is almost there. And so probably after this one, let's just see what happens. Nope, didn't quite make it, so I wouldn't have been in yet. Okay, now it crossed. So if I had been, again, you're trading against the main grain, okay? So I would be thinking sell most likely, but if for whatever reason you just want to take every trade, if if you got in at 27, it hit 30, so that's basically 12 ticks on this guy. But I'd have my, okay, there it goes, it shot up. And that's why I considered it too, is because, again, you had this red candle with a decent sized candle wick coming down. You had a decent push. But if you miss this one, I hope that there is another movement down or gives us something else to look at. So let's fast forward even faster. Okay, so the market's moving up. Plus you have decent space in between the gold, the brown, and this. And so this is awesome. So definitely looking for the sell side. It just broke through. Actually, it looks like it just touched the top of the resistance line. And so I hope there'd be good sell coming up here. Okay, just bounced off, some no trades there. Okay, so now we have the brown cross the gold, the white cross the gold. So I'm thinking sell right now. Let's see if I back up just a little bit. Go out of the way, please. Thank you. Back up a little bit. And this is going to be a little longer. Yep. Okay, so the white line passed the gold, but it hadn't crossed the brown line yet, say. Okay, so it's going to do it probably at the end of this one, as long as this next candle stays red, but I don't think it's staying red yet, so still not in yet. Still not in yet. Once this closes, still not in yet. So yeah, I just have my finger on the trigger, and let's see if it ever gets me in. Okay, so now at this crossed, I'm thinking sell right here, okay? So the close of this candle is when I'd be thinking sell. Still nervous about it, but that's just where I'd be thinking. Okay, so if it got me in at, say, we'll say even I was a little slow, say 51. There's 49, 48, 7, 45. Okay, boom, I would have been out. So the bottom of this hit 45, and if I had gotten in at like 49, 50, this candle wick would have got me out. So I'd be out right now between 15 and 17 ticks, maybe hopefully up to 20, but I don't think I would have got 20 out of it. Still $200-300 easy on that trade on 2-3 contracts, you know. Okay, let's fast forward a little more, see what the market wants to give to us. Okay, so again, so you got a crossing right here, cross the brown, then cross the gold, but it's kind of getting choppy. I would avoid this trade just because I don't like it. Okay, you have a downward movement, so I'd be trying to get sells out of this guy, even if it moves all the way up. Okay, good. See, good thing I didn't take it. I mean, I may have been okay, but big strategic wise, I wouldn't want it. Okay. So I think I went too fast through this part. Okay, so right here, I'm just waiting for the gold and the brown and the white lines to cross. So the white line crossed the brown one. There's a little separation. I know it's hard to see, but you can blow it up on your screen. The point is just know my thought process. So definitely white lines cross the gold, and then that's a decent sized movement down. And then hopefully I catch this. So I'd be thinking sell. Okay, so my finger would be on the trigger, and I would hit sell right there. So I'd be in around 41. It does go bounce up to 42, but there's 38.50, I think even lower than that. It's 37. Yeah, I saw lower than that. So what do we get? Okay, so around 37.50. So what's that? 3, 12, 15 ticks, I think, so far. Let's just play this out to see what would happen in case it didn't get you out yet. There's still 37, 36. There's 16 ticks, 17 ticks. Okay. There's 36, 35 I saw. Okay, so if you had stayed in this longer, which again was one of those cool, you take your ATM settings off and just run with it. I definitely would have been in and out somewhere between these last like 45 seconds. So again, I'm not in a trade very long. Let's go ahead and fast forward a little faster now. Oh, I missed this little up movement. So yeah, this one's kind of cool. I don't know if I would take this again. I'm looking for sells because it's momentum going the other way. It would have worked out, but this is what I'm looking for right here. So space in between, and then the top of these candles didn't go that high. And so I'm gonna hit sell at 37.25. Let's just say I got in right there. And then let's just fast forward and let's see if this would have worked out for me or if I would have gave up my lunch money. Right now I'm sweating it, thinking, crap. Okay, well, I'd be out. So I would have gotten out as soon as this white line crossed back over the brown. And so a little before 45. So I would have had a small loss right about there. So what is that? Between, say, 39 to 41. So I gave up like 12, 16 ticks. So I would have gave up one of my trades, one and a half of my trades, because my finger's on the button, on the exit button. And that's the main thing. It's like, I don't just sit there and wait because I'm like, hey, the market swung back. We're going to a chop zone, so it's no fun to be in these chop zones. Oh, and then it dropped. Well, if I had survived or not paid attention, I still would have been okay there. But let's say I gave a little money back up. And then it's kind of going a wavy chop zone, which is really hard to read. Okay, this is what I'm looking for. Some big space like this. And then I'm hoping it's dropped back down. Yeah, there it goes. Cool. Okay, so do you see the difference between this space right here and then the spaces before that where it's this nothing? Like you want space. You need the market to move a little bit, give us something to work with. And that's where this one came in, okay? Now this line is, the top of this line is right about where the resistance is. So I'm thinking definitely the market's coming back down on this guy. And what I would do too is that if I'm only trading 2 contracts, oh yeah, that would have worked out great. If I'm trading 2 contracts, and then I would have doubled it back to 4 to make my money back. It's a little risky doing that, but that's why I trade 2 or 3 contracts and I double to 4 or 6 after I have a loss, because usually I don't have back-to-back losses. Usually. Okay, so the white line is going to cross the brown, and then pretty soon, as we saw earlier, it's going to go all the way across the gold too. So my entry point would be, I'm thinking right here, about 37, say 38 even, 37, and then just wait, and then there's 32. That's 20 ticks right there between those guys. And so between the bouncing back and forth, between 22 to 17 ticks, and I would have made my money back up from my previous loss, and then that one would have been just fine for me too. So that's cool. So I'm thinking again, a little bigger space. Yeah, I would have taken this buy at all. I need a bigger space. And again, the momentum is moving down, and so I want sells. So if you had got back in here, it would have worked out. I just fast forwarded too fast. Okay, so we're creating a little bit of space for the buy side over here, which is nice. And so let's just see what happens when this guy rolls. Oh yeah, okay, cool, look. So you got this space right here, and then how everything moves out, the white line crossed the brown up here on that one. That's what I'm saying. You could learn to trade the brown line too and the white. I definitely take a sell on this guy, and if it would have been sweating it a little bit, but because the white and brown line didn't cross back in, it would have made money there. Okay, just kind of looking at everything. All right, so that's the end of the hour-long trading. So it's a longer trade, but I wanted to give you some of my thought processes and encourage you to record your screen and then go back through and figure out, okay, where I would have traded, how I would have traded, and make it work that way. All right, guys, talk next time. Thanks.